we will survive. We will survive. I never said I could sing, y'all. Okay? Don't judge me.
You an entrepreneur, I got what you need.
Hey there, my loves. Welcome back to my channel and CPTV, the place where aspiring and current entrepreneurs can get the tips, the tools, the strategies, and the actionable step-by-step roadmaps to grow their passions into businesses and their businesses into freedom. If that sounds like you, then you are in the right place and you are going to want to stick around. You're going to want to subscribe. You're going to want to like. You're going to want to share. Because every Tuesday I am dropping the golden nuggets based off of my 20 years of experience being an entrepreneur and starting and growing multiple 6- and 7-figure empires. I'm Cheryl Perez, or CP, as my CPTV family has been authorized to call me. And I am so excited to have you here because I'm telling you, it is crazy times right now. And I mean, it is totally taking its toll. It is taking its toll on our emotions. It is taking its toll on our patience. And it is so significantly taking its toll on small businesses. It's true. In the United States and in most countries around the world, small businesses are the lifeblood of our economy. And right now, in today's day and age, they are having a hard time. We are having a hard time surviving. So many of us entrepreneurs are being affected in so many ways by this current state of affairs. But you know what? It feels brand new. It feels like something we've never dealt with before. But the fact of the matter is, there's been so many catastrophic situations and difficulties that have happened throughout history where small businesses' survival skills have been put to the test. I mean, just think about it. We've had world wars. I'm sure that affected the small business industry. We've had 9/11 had a huge impact on the small business industry. We now have coronavirus, COVID-19, having a major impact on the small businesses. And heck, I mean, tornado and bad weather seasons around the country have dire effects on small businesses. And all of those things, even though this feels like it's brand new, have existed for decades, for centuries. And small businesses have been able to survive.
I'll survive. I will survive. Hey, hey.
Because we will survive. We will survive. I never said I could sing, y'all. Okay? Don't judge me. I'm just saying that is great news. The fact that history has shown us that we have been up against the strongest, most difficult and challenging periods in history. And as small business owners, we've been able to survive. But the fact of the matter is, those who have survived have implemented some very specific strategies and action items and have really taken some action in order to ensure that survival. And in today's episode of CPTV, I am going to share with you the strategies that I've actually utilized because I've been faced with challenges as a small business owner. I've had to pivot and redirect. This ain't my first challenging, difficult time, and I've been able to make it through. I've been able to ultimately grow and to ultimately prosper. So today I'm going to share with you those strategies and what I've implemented in my businesses over the years to help us all survive. So let's get to work. So first, let me start off by saying I know a little something about small business survival strategies. Why? Because I've actually had and grown several small businesses throughout my career. And one of my major businesses that I had for over 10 years and was really in this place of complacency and comfort was hit by something pretty significant in our market that caused me to have to implement some very serious survival strategies. After that change, and I'm going to be a little bit more specific here with you shortly, but after that experience, it really caused me to pause and think, what is it that I keep implementing and keep doing in order to make it to that next level? And when I'm talking about my own experience, I'm talking about the most recent situation where I owned an insurance company for a number of years that specialized in employee benefit services and employee benefit packages and solutions for clients. And the oil of this machine was thick, y'all. I mean, it was running well oiled. Making money hand over fist. It was a multi-million-dollar business. I had over 60 sales reps. I had an entire recruiting team. I had managers, middle management. It was really a huge endeavor. And I had that business focused in that area for a little over 10 years. All of a sudden, the government changed and the Affordable Care Act was put in place. And that one little legislative change really impacted my business significantly. It caused me to once again have to figure out how to pivot, how to redirect, and how to prosper. And these are the strategies that I implemented in order to take that very lucrative business, continue it on, make a little shift, grow it, and be able to continue to be successful. So let's start with what strategy number one really is, and the first thing that I need you to focus on in order to survive as a small business owner and entrepreneur. Strategy number one. You have got to get a handle and manage your mindset. Now, I have done a lot of training videos, including on CPTV, surrounding having an entrepreneurial mindset. So to really dive into how to get that mindset, I'm going to go ahead and link to that video in the cards for you to take a look at. And it actually comes with a Get Your Mind Right workbook. So I want you to definitely access that. But you've got to make sure that you've got a mindset of survival. Now, I really want to talk to you about working to stabilize your mindset and what that ultimately looks like. You've got to be ready. You've got to do a lot of positive self-talk. You've got to allow yourself to process what's taking place. But most importantly, you've got to know what your mind needs to be focused on in order to get through these times. You can't be a quitter. You can't have lack of patience, and you can't be completely overwhelmed to the point where you just give up and procrastinate. So I really want to talk to you right now about some entrepreneurial mindsets and really what you have to have in order to get that mind right to make it and just to survive. So as you work to stabilize and turn around your business, it is so important for you to maintain an entrepreneurial mindset. And an entrepreneurial mindset includes these 10 things that I really want you to understand and to think through and to begin to adopt and enjoy as an entrepreneur. Because if you don't focus on getting these 10 things right, it's going to be very difficult for you to survive. First, you have to have positive thinking. Being a positive thinker is critical as an entrepreneur. You have to be ready to learn from this failure, to learn from what you might need to tweak and change in order to be able to pivot and redirect in whatever we're currently facing in order to survive. You also need to know when to give up on something that isn't serving your business, isn't making you money, and isn't going to be sustainable into the long term for the growth of your organization and to get you closer to that entrepreneurial freedom. You need to make sure that you are prepared to delegate to others so that you can get even more done and be even more efficient. You have to love learning and use this opportunity to learn everything you can, because maybe you have to implement a new product or a new service and you need to figure out exactly what you don't know in order to do that. And you have to be willing to take some risks. Venture out into a marketing avenue that you haven't tried before. Make sure that you are following through thoroughly, creating that credibility and taking care of your employees and clients. You have to remain flexible at all times. If you are uncomfortable with change, then you are not going to survive as a small business owner. You need to set new goals and go after them. And most importantly, you need to keep good company and surround yourself with people who are going to support your goals and help you get your mindset in the right place. Almost every single business leader has endured struggles, and very similar to what we're enduring right now. And they're successful because they have persevered and were resilient. If you want your business to be the same way, I want you to just channel some of those amazing entrepreneurs. The current richest man in the world and the owner of Amazon started in his garage and failed so many times with this Amazon idea that it wasn't even funny. Now Amazon is like a household name and actually booming because none of us can really go out to stores. I want you to really channel and do some research because there's tons of them out there that have taught us very, very well as entrepreneurs and as small business owners that if we don't have the right mindset, we can't be resilient and we can't do those 10 things that I just showed you and talked to you about, and it's going to be very difficult for you to survive. And I want to make sure that I leave you with a quote to inspire you. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right. And that is from Henry Ford. And we all know who he is, right? One of the greatest entrepreneurs of our time and the actual founder and owner of Ford Company. So strategy number 1, manage your mindset. Whatever you have to do, yoga, meditate, crystals, great conversations. I don't know, in my case, drink some wine. I don't know, but whatever you got to do to keep your mindset in the right place to get through this period so that you can survive, go ahead and do it now. Strategy number 2, focus on your customers. And when I say focus on your customers, I don't just mean your existing customers. I also mean your future customers and prospective customers. Put all of your lifeblood and your energy into making sure that you are taking care of their needs, whether it's creating new marketing strategies or products and services so that you can target a new clientele or a base of customers to continue to grow. Or if it's creating additional service options, beefed up services, beefed up information, content, education, training for your existing customers, make sure that you step up and show out for them, because the lifeblood of your business is going to be your customers. And if you haven't done your due diligence, especially at times of crisis or in a catastrophic situation or in a place where you really feel like you've got to grow and learn at focusing on your customers, then you're going to have a very difficult time creating that business survival that you really ultimately need. During times of global crisis, it's especially important to keep your focus on your customers. When this whole thing rolled out for us, especially with our big HR brand and programs, we knew that our clients were going to need us and need us more than ever. So we immediately worked overtime, worked 80 hours to put together the resources, the tools, the content, the education, and the training to help them navigate through all of the changes that they were experiencing. In that instance, my focus and my team's focus was we have to step up and show out for our existing customers. And with all of this being said, it has also geared our focus and our goals towards new prospective customers, the content that we're putting out, the training and the support that we're providing. So ultimately, when you're trying to survive as a business, a key strategy is to focus on your customers, the new ones and the current ones. Take good care of them, and when it's all over, they will take very good care of you. Strategy number 3, you gotta create a game plan. Now, y'all know how I feel about making plans. You will know that I know you can't get nowhere in business as an entrepreneur unless you've got a good game plan. So that game plan should include you figuring out what the primary problem is, you developing a strategy to address those problems, objectives and action items. You actually do a SWOT analysis and determine where your strengths are, your weaknesses are, where your opportunities lie, where your threats exist, and you want to pursue the opportunity to create a game plan around how you're going to fix this problem and move into the next level. I'll give you an example. Longhorn. I am absolutely in love with what they are doing right now during this pandemic. I am a big Longhorn fan. It's actually one of my favorite places to go. They've got one of my favorite wines that's really inexpensive, and I love to go on a Friday, sit at the bar. They have these amazing wings. If you've never tried a Longhorn wing, y'all, you need to. They are seasoned to perfection. I'm a seasoned girl, so I like them. And they also have my favorite, like mushrooms that are stuffed with, anyway. Bottom line, Longhorn, the other day, I was like, let me go on. I really want a steak. I don't necessarily want to go home and cook one. And they have this amazing thing where they've completely shifted their business model. And they have like this drive up where everybody is bringing stuff out to your car. So they've got curbside delivery, which they didn't have before. I went online to order my regular wings and some mushrooms. And then also in Ohio, they've instituted these to-go alcoholic beverages that we can now have because our governor knows how we're going to get our mind right. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there. But anyway, when I logged in online at Longhorn to order me a steak and a salad so that when I got home I could eat, I was thoroughly impressed with their game plan and the strategies that they've put in place to pivot and redirect. Number one, they now offer family meal deals. So you can get 2 steaks, 2 chicken, a big tray of salad, and 4 additional sides and order it for your whole family. That was never on their menu before. So they've shifted into an entire family meal deal function. They also added uncooked options. Yes, you heard what I said. So I could order a ribeye that's completely seasoned and prepped, along with a baked potato and some raw broccoli, pick it up, order it, take it home, and pop it in the oven. It is ready for me to eat. And I was thinking to myself, Longhorn, you know what? They got their shit together. They created a game plan. They assessed the problem. They weren't going to allow the fact that restaurants and bars have been closed in our state for so long. They're like, we are not only going to make it so that people can drive up and get what they love, but we're going to give them additional options that they've never had available to them before. And honestly, I think that it is a strong, sustainable, long-term service that they can provide, because we don't know how long we're really going to be dealing with this whole thing. It could be 18 months. It can be 2 years. And that is a true example of an organization that assessed the problems, did a SWOT, developed a game plan, and moved forward with it. So remember, the game plan is going to be important for you. But once you've taken the time to figure out what you need to address and determine what your objectives are and the action items you're going to do to implement, at that point, all you got to do is implement and roll with it. And I guarantee you, if you do that well, you will definitely survive. Strategy number 4. It's a biggie. You have to take the time to reduce your costs and focus on managing your cash flow, especially in times like this when it is completely up in the air of what that cash flow is going to look like and what it's ultimately going to include. So when I say reduce your costs, you want to start looking at things that are expendable. For instance, you want to take a look at discretionary costs that you can cut. Like, for instance, you may have a extra paper that you purchase in advance, or maybe you purchase all the coffee and snacks in your office. You may want to cut those back so that you can save some money. You also might want to consider your office space costs and make an effort to renegotiate your lease with your landlord, or ask them and say, you know, half of our staff has moved to a virtual type of environment. We don't need this much space. We do need some space. Is it possible for us to move to a different location and get a new lease going? Also, you want to reduce potentially staffing costs. And that's one of the biggest things that businesses out there right now are facing. It's kind of the last result and the end result, but ultimately you really do have to assess where you are in your business, where your needs are, and whether or not your staff can really fit into those needs. But that also might be a cost that you reduce. So I'm not saying go straight to laying employees off, but a temporary furlough might be an option for you. You also might want to reduce hours, shift people who are full-time to part-time, have people sharing schedules, whatever it is. Think about all the ways in your business that you can take a look at where you are spending money and things that are viable for you to be able to cut in order to fuel that survival in that short term. You have to know where your numbers are. You have to know where they lie. And ultimately, you have to come up with a good game plan on what you can cut, and go ahead and make those cuts. You might eventually get them back once things start to pick up again. But until then, you've got to survive, right? It's survival of the fittest at this point. So go ahead and make those reductions where you need to. And it's an amazing strategy to keep you alive during these crazy times. And strategy number 5, use or switch to low-cost marketing. Now, marketing is an absolute double-edged sword, right? If you don't do it, you won't have customers. So you can't eliminate it altogether. And it's usually one of the biggest expenses that most small businesses actually have. But there is a way to kind of compromise and meet in the middle without eliminating it altogether, but with also without spending an arm and a leg on it and still being able to focus on reducing some of those costs. And that is focusing on low cost marketing strategies. Now, there are a ton of them out there. And when you first started your business, if you're in the middle of starting your business right now and you've really dove into the marketing world, you may have stopped doing some of those things because you're investing in ads, or you're putting articles in newspapers, or you're even doing TV or whatever it is. But I need you to kind of shift a little bit and kind of transition to not stopping marketing altogether, because you still want to serve your clients, you still want to reach your purpose in the world, you still want to have impact, and obviously you still want to drive sales, but you can kind of switch and revert back to the good old days, the beginning days of what you were doing from a marketing strategy. So for instance, going out and asking all of your current customers and clients for referrals. If you haven't done that in a long time, it's a great low cost or no cost marketing strategy. Also, networking groups. I know a lot of them are not meeting face to face right now, but every single one of them is engaging probably in more frequent meetings, because now we've got Zoom, we've got these virtual opportunities. And so it's really bringing people closer together, and more business owners are talking and sharing their strengths and weaknesses and talking through things in these virtual networking groups. So make sure that you get involved with many of them as you can. You actually can probably do more than you used to do when you would get in your car and physically go to them. Now, where you might be able to do one networking event a week, you can probably do 5, because all you got to do is put on a nice shirt from the waist up and jump onto your computer to actually engage. But join your networking groups. Also, do guest blog posts, put out some content, expand yourself to new audiences. It's a very low cost method of marketing, and you can ultimately be providing somebody else with some resources that they don't have to come up with on their own. Appear on podcasts, do interviews, sponsor local events, sponsor a virtual summit. Whatever it is, there's some really great opportunities for you to cut your marketing costs so that you can reduce them and survive without eliminating them altogether. All right, so we talked about the methods. You want more details, you want more specifics. I've actually got 40 other ways for you to actually implement some survival strategies. And I don't want you to miss out on all 40 of them, because if these 5 didn't resonate with you, the other 35 absolutely will. So make sure that you grab that download. It's a survival strategy, small business survival strategies checklist. It is absolutely free for you to grab. Click the link in the description, in the comments below. Let me know how you love it. Go ahead and grab it, download it. It's yours free, my gift to you, because I have implemented probably 75% of the strategies that you're going to see on there, because I've had to survive through some really tough times. And my bottom line in leaving you with is be creative. Be able to pivot and redirect. Be persistent. Real true business owners, real true entrepreneurs already know that it's not going to always be rosy. It's not going to always be heavenly. You are going to face times that feel like hell. You just have to make sure that you are prepared for them, that you have implemented the mindset, the strategies, cost cutting, the new way of thinking, new opportunities that you're taking advantage of. You mitigate your threats, you fix your weaknesses, you focus on your strengths, and you ultimately get it done. And if you implement any of those things or all of those things, survival for you is a given. So if you guys like this, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a great job CP. That's all you got to do. Thumbs up CP down in the comments. I will definitely reply to you. In the meantime, I will see you guys next week. Hope you enjoyed. And don't forget, you will survive. You will survive. Bye, y'all.
I'll survive.